Hi there. Hey, I'm Jen Rice, and today I wanted to talk about coffee. And I was recently reading this journal article that is, it's actually called the Townsend Letter, which is something the doctor I'm working with introduced me to. And it has a lot of great articles just written by different healthcare professionals. And this one gentleman who is a chiropractor, his name is Stephen Helshen. He wrote this great piece on what's in your coffee, the good, bad, and the ugly. And hey there, hey Sarah, thanks for jumping on. So I'm talking about coffee today because I really didn't give much thought to buying organic coffee. When you see it on the shelf, there's so many choices, right? The coffee bean aisle is large, and I wasn't drinking coffee for several months because I was doing my elimination for my heartburn, which I had talked about in previous videos. And since I was feeling better and doing great, I decided I was going to jump back into coffee a little bit because I really love the taste of coffee, and I know that there's health benefits there, but I hadn't necessarily been buying organic coffee. And so I saw this this article and I thought, well, I better read it. And what I found out in here is it's kind of a really good case to buy organic coffee. And if those of you out there are already drinking an organic coffee that you love, I would appreciate any comments or help with picking out one, because when you Google organic coffee, there's like a million ones to choose from. And I think, for me, I kind of thought, well, why spend the extra couple dollars? I mean, you're going to put it in boiling water. How bad can it be? Well, what I didn't realize is that from everything from like the way whether it's hand-picked or machine-picked, the way it's roasted, the way that it's transported and stored, and then I didn't realize the mold issue. So evidently about 50% of the coffees on the market, commercial coffees that are not organic, have mold content, and they test positive for mycotoxins, which is pesticide or herbicides. And it's like widespread. It's not just like a couple studies. There's like a ton of studies on commercial coffee. And so let's first talk real quick. I'm going to back up a little bit and talk about the quality issue of organic, because this was really interesting for me. Hey, thanks for jumping on, you guys. So I was kind of mentioning that I didn't really know if organic coffee was worth it. And after reading this article, that I'm going to pop the link in because some of you may want to check it out. And they also go a little bit deeper than I'm going to go today. But basically, premium coffee is grown at high altitudes, and it's organic because of the way the farm is. So the way the farm works, like I know nothing about agriculture and how to farm and what it means, but evidently that they're working with nature to produce these beans, right? So when they harvest them, if they do it by hand, they hey Deb, it's great to see you. When they do it by hand, it's harvested at peak. When they do it by machine, which it's not, I'm hearing that it's not, from the article, it wasn't that it's bad that if anything's machine picked, but it has to be sorted later. So the machine picks all of the beans, whereas hand pick is only at the peak, right? So when they do use a machine, they will sort, I guess, in an area like they would, I would assume, for wine. And see which ones make the cut, right? And the others just don't. But what I didn't know is that if it's not premium, it has something called acrylamide, which is something that's unhealthy that we really don't want in our coffee. And what we do want in our coffee are things like antioxidants, because even like Dr. David Perlmutter, he's written a ton of books on the brain. He's a well-known neurologist that now is a speaker on Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, mild cognitive disorders. He will certainly mention that coffee every day should be something you do for your health, as long as you don't have GI issues that may impair you from doing so, because it enhances brain function. It increases our energy. It helps protect our heart and just our vessels throughout the body. it can help reduce type 2 diabetes, and it protects the liver. And there were like a million other things that they listed on here, which was kind of more than I wanted to necessarily go into. But it was super protective. So I'm thinking, yeah, I probably want this back. I want this back in my life, right? So what would be the bad part? The mold we talked about, the mycotoxins, which I don't want to be drinking that. I'm sure you don't either. So how do you know if you've had bad coffee and you're actually concerned that maybe the coffee you're drinking, you might actually get some symptoms, and those symptoms would be fatigue, nausea, dizziness, kind of a runny nose, a rash, upset stomach, diarrhea. And you may think though that that's just kind of your new normal if you've been drinking coffee a long time, and it'd be interesting to know if you eliminated it or switched out the type of coffee you were buying to organic, if you would get rid of some of those symptoms. So that would be like my own challenge to you would be, if you are having any of those symptoms mentioned, you can't really pinpoint where they've been coming from, and you do drink coffee every day, but it's kind of wherever you happen to go. Maybe it's, and I don't want to name out all the chains because, you know, I'm not looking to like bash anybody, but if it's not organic, from what I'm reading here, it's really important. And so going forward, I have I think I have 3 bags of coffee, like small things, in the house right now, and they're not organic. So I know going forward, after reading this article, I'm going to be buying that. And if you guys have any suggestions for me of an organic coffee you're currently drinking, I would love to hear it. And I'll also pop in the comments a list of the top 10 brands that made like a 2018 list. Hey, Crystal Bell, good to see you. Thanks for being on. We're doing coffee talk. You know, I'm dating myself now with the with the coffee talk on Saturday Night Live. So anyway, organic it is, right? I mean, that's what we got to do. So also I wanted to mention, we are gearing up again for a 14-day challenge, which is for health seekers. It's the 14-day intro to anti-inflammatory lifestyle. It's going to be starting June 11th. If you're interested in this kind of content, like the video today, if you like learning more about health and specifically functional medicine-based practices to help the gut and the brain, this may be something for you or someone you know. I'll pop that link in the comments too. And I hope you guys have an awesome, awesome day. Talk to you soon.